Welcome to Networking and Marketing Made Simple. My name is Scott Aaron, and each week we're going to take a behind the scenes look at all things LinkedIn marketing, LinkedIn networking, and how to get what you have in front of more people. So, thank you for joining me, and let's dive on in. Hey, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Networking and Marketing Made Simple. Super excited for today's episode for a couple reasons. Number one, another great interview episode coming at you. So I know you guys how much you guys appreciate hearing all the stories and journeys that entrepreneurs have gone through to get to where they are, but more so where they are now and where they see themselves going in the future. The other reason why we're talking about obviously two of my favorite topics, entrepreneurship, but folding into marketing and obviously business expansion. As many of you know, Nancy and I have a goal every year of growing our business between 20 to 30%. That is kind of like our overarching goal, and we've hit it each of the last 5 years, and we don't plan on stopping anytime soon. So we're going to talk about all that and more. So Pedro Uchoa, welcome to today's episode.
Thank you so much, Scott. It's a pleasure to be with you and with your audience.
Awesome. Well, I know they're glad to have you here as well. And, you have a very diverse background from being an ex-professional athlete, entrepreneur at heart, really honing in, post-career marketing, advertising, obviously in the restaurant industry now, and everything else that you're doing. So let's rewind the tape before we actually move forward with everything that you're doing now. And if you had to stop at a particular point in your entrepreneurial journey that you really feel was that catapult moment for you that kind of set you on this path that you're currently on, what was that moment for you?
Look, Scott, I think that's a good start. My career, as you said, it's diverse. I bring my sports background. Sports for me, like during my life, is very important. I love to talk about that. Even when I moved to marketing, it's kind of unique. After you do sports, normally people choose like physical education. They want to work with sports. I went to marketing. Of course, I thought I was going to work at first with sports marketing, but like the journey takes us wherever, like you go seeking the opportunities and you go preparing yourself. That's something I love to always talk about. You have to be prepared for the opportunities, and that's where luck comes. Like luck, it doesn't, nothing falls from the tree. And having my background in agencies in Brazil, working with publicity, live marketing, and everything, I always put myself in a space, in a position like wearing the t-shirt, like wearing thinking I was the owner of the business. I was the owner of the agency. And when I had the opportunity to entrepreneur and have something that's mine also now with my brother, it makes a big difference. So I love to have, I had the chance to have the background that I had working with diverse different brands in Brazil from all different segments to be able to push this and applicate that in my day to day as an entrepreneur now. Yeah.
Is there anything that you feel you learned as a professional athlete that has helped you kind of move into the entrepreneurial world? Because, I was a competitive athlete, not on the professional stage, but I did
Yeah.
competitive bodybuilding, and I still do competitive bench pressing. And there's, for me, it's been about having routine, having structure, um, consistency, but also having goals, having something to reach towards. So was there anything that you took away in your professional career as an athlete that you've translated into now as an entrepreneur in business?
Yeah, that's a great question, and I'll let you know that I think it's not just one thing. I think it's a few things you already stated. The consistency, planning, setting goals for sure. Like nowadays, when I have the sports, I do running, I do foot volley, swimming, and I always need to make a challenge for myself. Like I have to participate in a run, like next year I want to do the New York Marathon. So that pushes us. It's not just like in a regular basis doing my work, and that's okay. So having the sports like teamwork, competition, that those things push you together. And today, not only in the restaurant business, but almost every business, you're talking about people, right? It's the people business. So I think sports, and I played soccer professionally, that brings a notion of diverse backgrounds of people and how to deal with those professionals, and how to push them to the higher level. I was actually the captain of the most of the teams that I played until 23. I stopped my career when I was 23. You can imagine soccer is so it's a huge competition in Brazil. Like, it's the main sport, but at the same time, just 1% of 99 gets to the AA level around the world. In Brazil, it's even less than that. So I had marketing on the side, and I was able to translate and shift my career towards a direction that I could implement a lot of things that I learned with the sports. Even resilience. I think resilience is another thing that sports brings to us, dealing with diverse situations. And I actually was a goalkeeper in soccer. So you can imagine, like, the tension, the pressure, the responsibility of not making any mistakes. If not, you're gonna get scored, and you have your whole team depending on you. So bringing that to the corporate level, bringing that to our businesses, I think that's something like resilience is something that helps me a lot in a day-to-day basis to deal with diverse. Imagine restaurant business, a lot of things going on. We have 4 locations right now. We can talk about that in a few, but we have a lot of people, a lot of guests coming in, so a lot of things that we have to deal with.
Yeah, before we move into Tap and Banana Boost, something that came up for me was, to play on that top professional level. There's two things that really kind of stood out for me. Is one, you have to be coachable, and you have to be willing to take feedback. So, because again, it's a communication type of sport, especially, not even on the pitch, but when you're preparing for a match against a rival team, there's got to be communication when you're practicing to make that translate onto the field. So, is there any hard advice, or I would say feedback, that you got in your professional career that you've been able to obviously take that into building the business that you're now building?
Scott, that's a great question again. I love that one. And as a goalkeeper, one of my first feedbacks that I truly accepted, like, it's hard. It's not easy to get a constructive feedback. I think you have the positive feedback, and you have constructive feedback. Not everybody gets that notion. But I had a coach, a goalkeeper coach, that said, Pedro, you have to understand that you're gonna get scored, you know because as a goalkeeper, you don't want to get scored, you don't want to suffer a goal, but after you suffer, you have to come up again. You have to be able to get your head. It's like tennis, like, you're going to lose a lot of points, but you have to get back to it. In the beginning of my career, the early stages, I suffered a lot after one goal, but you still have the whole match, and the team depends on you. So when we translate that to the business, we're still a small business, and I'm like, we want to grow even more the business, but at the same time, you have to prioritize, and you have to get the notion that some things you're going to leave behind at that moment, and you have to continue to move forward and focus in some areas, and you're not going to be perfect all the time. So having that feedback all the way in the early ages, when I was like 12, 13, I kept that with me, and I worked on it. It's not easy. It's not easy. I'm not going to say here, okay, I understand all the problems or the issues that comes up, but you have to observe and understand that, okay, I can address that right now, or I'm going to have to address that later, and this is going to have to stay a little bit, and we're focusing on other things. So I think the sports, that feedback resonated for me for sure.
Yeah, so post career now, obviously you're doing the marketing and stuff outside of that. And now we have Tap and Banana Boost, obviously expanding out of New York into Miami. So for the audience that's not familiar with obviously what you're doing now, tell the audience a little bit about Tap and Banana Boost and where you see everything moving into the future.
That's great. So basically, TAP stands for tapioca, açaí, and pão de queijo. That's the Brazilian cheese bread. So basically, we are a fast casual Brazilian restaurant, 100% gluten free. We're 7 years in the market in New York. We have 3 locations now. As you said, we just expanded to Miami almost 4 months now in Brickell. So the idea is to bring a little bit more of Brazil to the world, like, so New York and Miami are huge cities, windows of the world. We have people all around living, working, traveling, visiting. And since the beginning, Tapi has this, and we're working hard on that to bring more diverse Brazilian superfoods to the public. So a lot of people hearing here probably never ate a tapioca sandwich, but for sure it's a really healthy option towards like just eating a normal wheat bread sandwich. We have chicken club, we have bacon, egg, and cheese tapioca, we have caprese tapioca sandwiches. So that's a little bit of, when we look into the menu, we understand that we have to bring Brazil, but at the same time, we bring a local flavor to make it easier for people to resonate and say, okay, I know what's a bacon, egg, and cheese. I don't know what's a tapioca sandwich. Let me try it out. So Tap is our fast casual that we're working on own stores right now. We have a project for franchising for probably next year. Let's see how that goes. And Banana Boost is mainly a super snack that we produce in Brazil that at first we wanted to just sell inside our restaurants. But after we created the brand and the product, we understood that there's a huge market outside only the restaurants. So now we're selling on Amazon all around the US. It's a banana bar that we normally eat in Brazil. For the global community, it's something different. It's like a chewy aspect, but it's only bananas. And we have a version with acai. So it's like 3 bananas in one, 3 ingredients. That's it. Like really clean label, gluten-free, vegan. And it's actually a boost, like it's good for pre-training, post-training, or just at work, or for the kids going to school to put it for them to eat at the cafeteria. So it's a little snack, a different business, different from the restaurant. It's more digital e-commerce. That's another journey that we're exploring. Actually, something new for me, but at the same time, bringing my marketing background, I think it's helping a lot to get to that point, seeing the differentiation that we have in a product, and be able to put it out there. Get the feedbacks, see what we have to adjust, and learn on top of that. So those are our main 2 businesses right now. I'm the CEO of Tapi, and I'm the co-founder of Banana Boost. So yeah, really happy with this journey so far.
Awesome. For a lot of the younger or newer entrepreneurs, can you share with them a little about maybe the resilience side of, when you're going from one aspect of business to another, going into food and beverage and going into, a little bit of
Retail.
e-commerce.
Yeah.
It could be a little bit of a big haul. What are some of the challenges that you faced that you've had to overcome? And in overcoming those challenges, what advice do you have to maybe some of those entrepreneurs that are struggling the way that you maybe once were?
Yeah, definitely. I think one of the biggest challenges is prioritizing time. At the same, we have a busy day, we have a lot of things going on, and one thing that I work a lot is trying to figure out my schedule during the week. Having 2 businesses is not, it's not easy. If I just had Tapi, for sure the week would be definitely full. all 7 days a week. Our restaurant is open 7 days a week, 8 to 8. So imagine, even me and my brother that we both run the business, we have to accommodate and see when one is going to take some time off. If not, you're going to have burnouts. And I worked a lot, 12 years in marketing agencies in Brazil. In that atmosphere is not easy as well. You have a lot of projects at the same time, you have due dates, you have clients, you have internal teams. And I always worked in the account management side. So imagine always being the point of contact from the client inside the agency, from the team to the client, and understanding their like their briefings and their objectives, keeping the agency mindset and goals, like objectives in first place, but at the same time listening to the client, seeing what we have to do to put out there the best campaign or best promotion possible. So looking at the day to day, I think that's the most challenging, is to try to prioritize your schedule and put it on the calendar. I think when we look at the day to day, it seems basic, but what I do is trying to fill out all the agenda, even with my personal stuff. I like to say that I put in my as a like prioritizing my time. I put health, my family and friends, and then work in that order. And I have to have the time for me to go to the gym, to go running, to watch a soccer game that I want to cheer for, and I put that in my calendar. In Banana Boost and Tap, they have to have their time during that schedule, and if not, you're gonna get crazy. And I think one of the challenges for everybody in any industry is burnout. A lot of people don't are not being able to prioritize. So I think that's something that I would definitely work on, study, see people, what other entrepreneurs talk about. But for sure, that's something I love to schedule my week. Like plan the week and see what. And on top of that, like me and my brother, giving you an example, we start the day saying, what time are you going to go to the gym? You know, okay, you're going to go in the morning, I'm going to go at night because of this and that. So let's adjust our schedule on top of that, and not the other way around. If not, you're gonna see yourself working, not take care of you. And if you don't take care of you, you're not gonna take care of your family. So it's a little bit of that mindset that I have.
I mean, I completely agree. My big belief is that if it's not written down, it's not going to get done. And
Exactly.
my wife and I are very scheduled, very routine. Um, just as an example, we typically go to the gym around 7:30. Um, but I had two doctor's appointment this morning. I take my health very, very important, very seriously. So I always go to the dermatologist every 6 months to get my body checked for moles and everything else. Um, so it meant I had to go to the gym an hour early. So I had to get up at 5 instead of 6, and I'm at the gym doing my thing. So I totally resonate with that.
Yeah.
And I love the perspective that you're taking with everything that you're doing, with Tap and Banana Boost. I think people are not prioritizing their health enough. I think it's something that outside of the time that we don't get back, people don't take advantage enough of their health and making that your number one priority, because if you're not living a healthy life, you're not going to be here to live it. And that's, I was in the fitness industry for, 18 years, and it's something that I truly believe in. And outside of obviously the obvious differences between Tap and Banana Boost compared to other stuff that's out there, if someone was to say, well, with competitive products and business models, what do you feel really differentiates Tap and obviously that aspect of the restaurant business, but also Banana Boost as a go-to, just 3 ingredient, meal replacement bar or snack bar compared to some other stuff that's out there?
Awesome. Awesome. Um, Starting out with Tap, we love to talk about experience. Our I think our differentiation, looking at the restaurant business, People mainly they're looking for convenience or they're looking for experience. And when we look at the stores, we truly believe that's not about the transaction. I don't want people to come into tap, just eat a pão de queijo and leave, you know. So in that brings a little bit about my background in marketing. When I joined my brother, I said, brother Cleo, we have to find different points of contact to impact positively our guests. You know, they're not customers, they're guests. We're in the hospitality industry, so we have to have different things that are not out there. So when we look at as a Brazilian brand, we have to have the culture, we have to have the music, we have to have the smell, we brought a graffiti artist from Rio de Janeiro, from the slums, just to do the graffiti inside the store, to have art, you know. We brought a photographer that did some awesome photos in Bahia, the northeast of Brazil, to bring a little bit more of that vibe. We created like a Amazon forest inside the restroom. So it's not just a restroom; it's an experiential restroom with bird sounds inside for people to come in and say, "Oh, okay, this is a different space." So looking at the restaurant business, everything we do in Tap is to bring experience, and that's in store, that's in the deliveries. We have our employees writing on almost every bag a nice message, talking about the weather, talking about the seasonal day, if it's Thanksgiving, if it's Veterans Day, if it's Labor Day. And I think that brings the notion and brings, you know, word of mouth, because at the end of the day, we, as a restaurant in New York and now in Miami, the foot traffic is really important. And people actually find us. We did a survey the other day. 65% gets to know Tapi walking down the street. It's not even Instagram. It's not even Google. Of course, we do a lot of marketing actions in Instagram and Google with the reviews. That's really important. But if I have 65% of people walking down the street and getting to know us, the outside has to be welcoming. You know, I have to have things going outside. We have to have the music, being able to capture their attention walking down the street, the smell every day coming from inside the store. So I think that's the most important thing when we look at Tapi and bringing this experience that actually becomes our lifestyle. You know, like at Tapi we have a saying that's eat well, do good, live better. So it's not just a restaurant. It's a place that we want to resonate these messages. Eat well, of course, the food has to be good. It has to be, it's a superfood. It has to be healthy, nutritious, different. The do good is the part that we want to give back to the community. We have a program, a project in Brazil that our employees participate. And the live better, of course, is the lifestyle that we want to promote as a healthy brand. We partnership with run clubs. We do our tap run every Monday in Astoria. We have other projects going on that we want to promote, you know, the healthy lifestyle around the community. Because at the end of the day as well, we're talking about people, and people, we're talking about community, and being able to work towards that and have that as our main aspect. When we look at the reviews on Google, the cloud word of the reviews is staff, ambience, you know, decor, and the food actually comes a little bit lower because the rest brings more differentiation, I think. And when we look at Banana Boost, it's a different market. Of course, it's retail, but it's a blue ocean. When we look at this snack particularly, it's a different thing people never ate. So you have that curve to put people to try out. But at the same time, after they try out, there's no much options in that category. You have like protein bars that have like 15, 20 ingredients inside, and it's hard to eat, etc. So you get a Banana Boost, it fulfills you, it gives you a boost of potassium. And like for cycling or running, it's easy to take. You can eat one, you can eat a bite, you know, like the tennis players, they like to eat bananas during the game. And it's not, the banana doesn't get mushy. So it's right there. It's a packed, it's a 12-month shelf life product. So we're really excited with Banana Boost as well, bringing a new snack, a new super snack to the market. And we have our challenges, of course. Today we're in Amazon, and we're finding the way to get to more retail spaces, but the feedback has been awesome so far.
That's great. So, before I get to my final question, we sign off, Pedro. If people are
Yeah,
interested in learning more about TAP and obviously Banana Boost, what's the best place and where can people find out more?
for sure. Our Instagram, I think, is the best place now to see a little bit about our products, see what's going on. So it's eat underline underscore tap, and Banana Boost is eat Banana Boost. Eat as eating, actually eating. So eat tap, eat Banana Boost on Instagram. Check us out. And it's going to be a pleasure for whoever is in New York and Miami to check out the restaurant, or whoever is around in the US. We're on Amazon. Just check Banana Boost, and I hope to get your feedbacks. Please reach out to us for sure.
Yeah, all the information that Pedro just shared obviously will be in the show notes of the episode and the email that gets pushed out. So, Pedro, final question before we sign off. What does success truly mean to you?
I think success is all about the journey, the journey towards what we believe in. I think that makes us independent of how many stores we're going to have, how many products we're selling. It's much more about the process of reaching new markets, getting feedback from guests, you know, putting out there something that we believe. And that's something me and my brother, we talk a lot about. And that's what pushes us. It's not about, oh, I want to have 10, 50, 100 stores with Tapi, and that's going to be our success. It's not that. It's each step of the way. So I think for everybody that's listening, enjoy the process, enjoy the journey the best way you can. Keep healthy. If not, it's not going to be worth it. So I truly like that you resonated with that as well. And we have to take care of us to take care of our loved ones and our businesses. If not, nobody's going to take care of that.
Could not agree more. Health is wealth, and that's a message that I do love sharing. So,
Awesome.
Pedro, I just wanted to thank you again for being here today, sharing all your backstory and everything that you had to do to obviously get to where you are today, not only with TAP, but the future of Banana Boost. And I just wanted to thank you for being so open and vulnerable and obviously sharing all those helpful things with the audience today.
Thank you so much, Scott. Thanks again for the time and for me to be able to share all these stories.
Absolutely. So again, for the listeners, anyone that's interested in connecting with Pedro, learning more about TAP, but also Banana Boost, we're going to have the Amazon link right where you go and can purchase right from the description of the episode and the email. And then I know I have a lot of East Coast and Northeast people that listen to the podcast. So if you're in the, northern New Jersey, New York, even Connecticut area, head to New York City and check out TAP. But also, if obviously you're hanging out in South Beach, also a good place to go and check it out. So everyone, as always, thank you for the support of the podcast. I hope you guys found this episode helpful and enlightening. So love and gratitude, and I'll talk to you next time. Thank you so much for checking out today's episode. If you could, please support this podcast by hopping over to Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, or any place that you're listening to this. Leave us a rating and review. Let us know what you loved most and what you would like to hear more of. But also, if you would like to learn how to take your business to the next level, whether it's using LinkedIn or working directly with myself and Nancy in our intimate group coaching programs, you can head over to www.thetimetogrowth.com or scottaaron.net to learn more. Thank you again for your support, love and gratitude, and I'll talk to you soon.